Welcome to your Essential Business Briefing. I'm Stephen Carroll. Coming up, the competition in video streaming heats up as Disney and Apple join the field. But can they challenge the dominance of Netflix? Are consumers willing to pay more for products that are made in France? And after massive emigration during Greece's economic collapse, we meet some young Greeks who've returned home to start new businesses. First up, though, things are getting a lot more crowded in the video streaming game. Apple launched its offering on November 1st, and Disney's is coming in the next few days. Other major broadcasters are also trying to get in on a growing sector that's dominated by Netflix. This as more and more viewers are turning away from traditional television, except for France 24, in favour of on-demand video. So is the streaming industry at the point of overflowing? Kate Moody's been looking into this. Kate.
Well, Stephen, just a decade ago, video streaming was practically unheard of. Now, IHS Markit predicts 650 million households worldwide will use those services by 2021. The market's expected to be worth nearly $690 billion in the next 5 years. For now, Netflix remains the market leader, but that could soon change. Netflix and Amazon offer packages from about $9 per month. The newest entries, Apple TV and Disney Plus, are starting off with lower prices. All of them are investing in new original content, with Apple in particular attracting huge star power. They don't all have the same global reach. Disney Plus, for example, is planning a limited debut in English-speaking countries first. In the US, Hulu and HBO Max are also big names, but other countries are diving into the fray as well. French TV channels are joining forces to launch their own streaming platform called Salto, while Canal+ is also investing heavily. In China, Tencent Video is among the most popular. Now, to keep users' attention, there is a battle between original programming and a vast catalog of TV shows and films. Netflix, for example, still has the rights to stream a number of Disney titles, even after its big launch. That standoff also showcases Hollywood's efforts to regain ground in a sector initially dominated by tech giants. Some platforms are also branching out with free services that rely on advertising rather than subscription fees. Now, there is still a lot of room for growth, but in the US, 3/4 of households already pay for video streaming, and over 2/3 use more than one platform. Analysts aren't yet sure when the binge watching will peak, at what point the fees and options will hit a ceiling. But just as viewers allowed dozens of traditional TV channels to flourish for decades, so might several competing streaming services be allowed to flow, offering never-ending choice and entertainment. Stephen?
Kate, I can't wait. Thanks very much for that. Now, here in Paris, a major trade show is promoting the best of products that have been made in France. According to the National Statistics Office, 81% of household consumption here is of products that are made in the country. Like in many other places, politicians are keen to support homegrown production, even if costs are higher. In fact, almost 4 out of 5 French shoppers say they're ready to pay more to buy local. Well, I'm joined in studio now by Camille Zamo, who's the founder and CEO of the sock maker Archiduchesse. Thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. I want to first ask you about the origins of the name. It's from a French tongue twister about an archduchess and her dry socks. Can you say the tongue twister?
Of course. It's Les chaussettes de l'archiduchesse sont-elles sèches ou archi-sèches?
That is a challenge for everyone at home to practice afterwards. Tell us, how did this company get started?
The company started in 2009 in Saint-Étienne, in the center of France, because there were very cold winter, and so we wanted to have socks very hot, to have a hot fit for the winter, and it begins there and in Limousin, a region in France where a manufacturer exists and the manufacture socks.
And how did you get involved in this? Were you in the sock business already?
No, I was in the swimsuit business, but made in France also, and I take over the factory 3 years ago because I saw all the potential of the brand and of the socks made in France.
And at the time you started this business, it was a pretty difficult time for French manufacturers. How do you think things have changed since then? Is it become a better business prospect now?
Of course. It was very hard a long time ago because few people are buying made in France products because they are so expensive compared to China products. And those past years, lots of people wanted to buy better product, well manufactured, with a know-how that we have in France. And so people are looking more in quality product, and so they are interested in French products.
So you have this Made in France label. 100% of your socks are made in France. Was that something that you had to apply for and obtain? Is it a certification process?
The mark, we obtained it by the label Origine France Guarantee that comes in the factory and look at everything and
is able to verify then that all of the elements
exactly.
are...
50% of the price that has to be manufactured in France.
So your products do cost a little bit more than other socks that consumers might want to buy. What is it, do you think, that makes customers want to pay more for your products than the cheaper alternatives?
Yeah, well, the main reason I think is the quality of the product, because we have a very good quality product, so it can last a long time. We say 2 years, but it can be more or less, it depends on the people. And when you buy very cheap socks in China, you don't know, it can be 1 or 2 weeks, not, well, it's more 1 month, but they are willing to buy French product because they know that you have a know-how after that, and also that the conditions of work are respected. That is not always the case.
How many jobs does your company support?
Today we work with many companies in France, mainly our socks company who is in the Limousin. There are 50 people there. We also work in a company in the north of France who are doing t-shirts, and it's 130 people. We are doing tights in the south of France, and it's 30 people also. We are doing bonnet. Hats. In the center of France, it's 30 people also. So we have lots of indirect employees.
Yeah. And when you look for manufacturers for these different products, do you find that is it hard to find people that can make things at a cost that's profitable?
It's quite hard. For socks, we have our partner for 10 years now, which is Brousseau Textile, who are manufacturing the socks. But when we look in other products like a t-shirt, a hat, and even shoes, it's quite difficult because in France you don't have lots of manufacturers, and they are quite expensive also. So it's hard to find the good manufacturer that offers a good product for you with a good material, because we are looking for very specific material for our products.
And do you find this Made in France label works outside of France? Do you have customers internationally as well who appreciate products that are made here?
Yeah, sure. We have some, but it's true that 80% of our consumers are in France. But we also have clients abroad, but neighbor to France, like Belgium, Switzerland, United Kingdom. And we also sell in Asia and, of course, in the United States and Canada.
And do you have plans to expand beyond that?
Yeah, lots of them. We hope so. We really want to develop our brand worldwide, and especially in Asia, but also in Canada.
OK. Camille Zamo from Archiduchesse, thank you very much for coming in to speak to us. Well, turning next to Greece, where the country's economy is beginning to recover from its dramatic economic collapse. Unemployment soared during the crisis, and many Greeks were forced to move abroad to find work. But some are starting to return, and although around a third of young Greeks are still out of work, some are taking the opportunity to start their own businesses. Ellen Gainsford reports.
Stavros studied finance in New York, while Yanis was a professional footballer in the UK.
I love UK, and always was on my mind to stay abroad.
After the debt crisis tipped the country into recession in 2008, many young, educated people left Greece in search of work. But with the economy gradually improving, Stavros has returned to pursue his passion.
We are seeing this magic, this amazing raw material that is washed up all over the Mediterranean Sea. And unfortunately, here in Greece, the municipalities collect them and burden them to landfills.
2 years ago, Stavros moved back to Greece, took over his grandfather's workshop, and began making products, including phone cases, using seaweed. He's only able to take a small salary of €600 a month for the moment, but he doesn't regret his choice.
The crisis we have in Greece doesn't affect us in terms of innovate, create something unique.
In this boutique in Athens, customers are curious about his products.
They're very light. They're cool. I've never seen that before.
Former footballer Yannis decided to return to Greece after meeting his wife. Her grandfather used to have beehives. This gave them the idea to start a business selling honey. To beat the crisis, the couple sell to the luxury market and export most of their products.
When you are creating something, you do not have to see what happens in the background. You have to be focused on your plan.
Their small business has found its niche. They now employ around 20 staff members, many of whom had been out of work before this opportunity.
Well, that's it from us for this week. As always, you'll find the best of our business coverage on our website, on our Facebook page, France 24 Business, and you'll find me on Twitter @NewStephen. Until next time, thanks for watching.